Lunges. I'm going to break down lunges for you. Welcome to my garage. This is my home setup. I hope you don't mind. It's a little bit grubby on the floor, but that's how I like it. That's how a garage should be, right? Lunges, so there's so many different variations of lunges. You know, you've got probably the easiest one is what I was just doing there, a static or stationary lunge, okay? Or then you've got the reverse lunge, right, which you've all seen. I love lunges, you'll probably see them coming in your program very often. And then you've got forwards lunges, right, a little bit more difficult, and the reverse, because you're actually progressing forwards and you've got to extend your knee off to get, you've got a whole lot of braking force there, which is pretty damn good for your body and your knees, which is great. Much like running or walking down a hill or downstairs, there's that same sort of mechanics of that. You got lateral lunges, so actually literally lunging in side to side, or Cossack squats we call them. There's a sort of blurred line between lunges and squats, or one-legged squats, and split squats or split lunges. I wouldn't get too carried away about the name, but as I understand it, a lunge is actually, it says it in the name, right? You've got to lunge into the actual exercise, right? That's what a lunge is. Whereas a split squat, a lunge, like you're probably like maybe 60-65% in the front leg, the rest in the back leg, pressure-wise, intensity-wise. Whereas a split squat or a split lunge is actually 50 and 50, so 50%, 50%, and you can see like 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And on a split squat, you're going straight up and straight down as opposed to lunging, okay? That's the difference, just in case you're wondering, to clear that up. Heaps of overlay from what I said about squats and what you understand about squats, the prime movers, glutes, quads, hammies, all your deep internal, external rotators, adductors and abductors are all working quite hard. Still, the majority is in your glutes, which are big external rotators. Which brings me to that point, just like I pointed out about squats, having to really drill into the ground and create that torque. The same thing happens in a lunge. You've got to create that external rotation to get these, give the glutes the best possible chance at firing up really well. And you've got to really get it in there and get it driving. You'll find that naturally lunges will do this for you, and this is why we get people to do it. And the stability factor, which is really important. Sorry, I just completed a workout, that's why I'm huffing and puffing. Still big full body, which is nice. So that's the first point, is that torque, and how I want you to measure that. Okay, so point number one is I want you to have a look at your foot. Okay, so come down to lunge position. Your foot shouldn't be facing in like that. Okay, the inside edge of your foot should be straight. And I'll give you the best example. If you are stepping forward into a lunge like this, and you think that your toes are straight, put your other foot next to it, and if you're at an angle, or you step forward and you go, oh man, I am kind of pigeon-toed, you'll know that that's not straight. The inside edge of your foot needs to be dead straight, if not a tiny bit of external rotation, like half a centimetre, all right? And that's what will get these glutes firing up really, really well. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two is to make sure that when you're in a lunge, whichever the lunge may be, aside from lateral lunges, that knee is just behind the hip, okay? I'll show you why. This is actually creating a huge amount of stretch and tension through this back leg, so I can get a really good workout. Plus, we want to be mobilizing this and strengthening at the same time. And maybe you're lunging into this, so you want to be lunging. If I bring this forward like that, it just doesn't look right, right? But I'll tell you, there's a huge amount of pressure now going through my knee. So if you've got sore knees or anything like that, that's going to really cane your knee. And it sort of sounds counterproductive that you've got to go longer and step further to actually get this, to get less of a pressure through your knee, but it's accurate, okay? That's when you've got to believe in your coach and understand what they're saying and trust in them, okay? So that's point number two, knee behind the hip. First point, making sure you got that torque through your legs whether you're walking, stationary, whatever it may be. The third point is, I want you to imagine you're on train tracks, okay? So think about where your femur comes out of your hips. Females might be a little bit wider and facing inwards a little bit, but you still got to think about where they come out of your hips. So you're not wider like a squat stance, you're narrower like a deadlift stance. And then to stay stable, you want to stay on your train tracks, okay? So you want to go straight forwards. So you're still spaced apart like that. That way you've got room to move, everything's nice and stable, right? If by chance I derailed the train, or derailed my lunge and went inwards, it's going to be a whole lot harder for me to stabilize. Plus, all my muscles now are not working in their linear fashion like we want in a straightforward lunge. Also, although you can do lunges like this, not for a linear lunge, not for a forward lunge or anything like that, that would be a non-linear lunge, which, getting technical, you can do lunges in all different directions, and it's really good for your knees and everything to do that, especially if you're an athlete or a sports player where you've got to move more dynamically. But for the general, for lunges for lunges sake, right, and really big powerful lunges for you and I, general public at the moment, and for the sake of what we're talking about here, you want to be nice and linear on that train track, okay? So first point, creating that external rotation, making sure the inside edge of your foot is straight, then making sure your knees behind the hip, not in like that, and then finally, train tracks, make sure you're stepping forwards. You got all of that right, you got some really good lunges. Trust me, lunges are so good. One of the best exercises you can do, so much neurological patterns going on through your muscles, through your whole body, so it's a huge amount of effort to do, which means there's a huge benefit to do it. Hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you got those 3 points written down and nailed in your mind for when you're doing lunges.